Hey, Bart, good to see you, my friend.
Good to see you as well.
We're going to have to stop meeting like this.
Thank you for all this that we do together.
Oh.
Well, that's the only time we actually hang out together.
No, exactly. We're always working. We're two guys that have a high work ethic, let's put it that way. But it's always good to see you. We've got something else on the horizon now. We've got the boat show at the Pomona Fairplex.
Yeah, this is a very interesting story. 2 years ago, well, actually, I think this was in 2022, but I had to book some of these dates. You have to book them as far out in front. I booked Long Beach and Del Mar the best I could because we had lost our dates because of all that stuff that happened with COVID and all that. So, did what I could, and then I thought, well, there was a boat show in Pomona. Let me see what dates I can get. And I got these dates in 2023, and people said, well, what are you doing? Factories can't build boats because the people have quit going to the factories to work because of COVID. And the dealers, when they can get boats, they're all pre-sold. So every truckload that comes out is already sold. Nobody needs to go to a boat show. I said, well, yeah, maybe so. But and all of a sudden, just shortly before we were about to start really booking seriously, the demand fell off a little bit and inventory increased. So now the boat dealers have all this inventory. Demand is slowed. So it was a perfect time for a boat show.
Right.
So we did it. It was very successful. And now we're into our second year. This year, these guys have lots of inventory because the interest rates went up and boat sales really stopped for a while. They're coming back. They came back in both Long Beach and Del Mar. We sold boats in both shows, which is a really good sign. And I think right now is the best time in my lifetime, I think I told you this before, for a guy to buy a boat. Because these dealers are all flooring them with the bank. And they want to get rid of them. They got a lot of inventory.
Yeah.
They want to make deals. And this is it. If you're interested in boating right now, and at this boat show, there's everything we have. We have the fishing boats, of course, and we have the pontoons. We have the runabouts. We have the inflatables. We have the towboats. We have the high performance boats, and we have the race boats. We have some of the fastest boats on earth at this show. We have the fastest one is there actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's pretty amazing.
I know some people who are really into that. I've gone for a ride on one of those things. It's like being on a rocket ship.
I don't think I want to go on a ride, but I watched them.
It's exciting stuff. Can I just drop back for one moment and tell you how much I enjoyed the Long Beach and Del Mar shows this year? In fact, at the Long Beach show, I had so much fun walking around, meeting so many people. And then the Del Mar show, one interesting thing, there was a lot of things. I mean, we were there handing out stuff. People were all over. It was so crowded. It was great. But there was this family who owns a sport fishing agency in Ensenada who came all the way up. There was 9 or 10 people. And the girl, she has been doing, Paulina, some shows with me. She's great. Her English is great.
I've seen her with you. I saw the show.
Yeah. She had a fabulous time. Her mother, Berenice, had a great time. Her aunt had a great time. And, kind of an international flair to the event this year.
Well, thanks, Phil. It was fun. I think I told you this before. I know I did. The Saturday at Long Beach was my favorite day I've ever had at a hall show in our 76-year history.
Wow, that's saying a lot. Why?
I just going around. On Saturday, every day I'm out in the floor, but on Saturday I'm out there a lot.
Yeah.
And I could feel that the people were happy, the exhibitors were happy. Every seminar I went by was packed, standing room only. Going out in the patio where we had the trout pond and the ducks and the kids casting and the air gun range and the dogs and food trucks and Progressive Plaza, people sitting underneath. And it was jam-packed and people were smiling and laughing and having a good time. And it fulfilled everything that my father envisioned when he started this in 1946. It was great. And when we got to Del Mar, a similar thing happened. On Saturday at Del Mar, and Sunday both, I have never seen so many families. Now, Del Mar always has more families than Long Beach.
Yeah.
I've never been to a show of any kind that had more families. Strollers, kids running around, running all over the boats. It's great. The kids love to run all over the boats.
I know. They like to run all over everything.
The boat dealers hate it, but the kids love it.
Right.
Anyway.
And that's what this is all about, right?
Yeah.
Promoting fishing, getting the younger generation involved.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Was it? Yeah, it was yesterday, Sunday. We did a little event down where I live, and we invited families to come down with their kids. The surf fishing was fantastic. The kids were running all over the place. They were having a ball, throwing sand at one another, catching yellowfin croaker. And man, I'll tell you, and all those kids I saw at Saturday at the Bart Hall show in Long Beach. So it was like a little reunion of sorts. And it's really what it's all about, getting kids involved in fishing.
I was thinking about this morning, as a matter of fact. You know, we've gone through a lot, Ginny and I, over the last few years.
Our executive producer, by the way, out there.
Because of all this stuff that happened illegally and stuff, you know, we lost our life savings, we lost our house. And yet, I'm as happy as I've ever been in my life. And I keep thinking to myself every day, I am working hard at events that I think make a difference in society.
Yes.
And that's why I'm doing it. I mean, I don't have much longer to live. I'm getting up there.
I'm with you, right there.
And to be able to do this is a real treat and an honor, and I give thanks for it.
Yeah, the closer you get to that perceived end,
Yeah.
you know, I think you and I can talk, the less the material stuff matters to you, and the more your legacy and what you can do for people and how you can help people means. Am I on the right track
no, you're
here?
right. My dad told me when I started with him I was never going to get rich. He was right, and we won't, and we don't care anymore. We just want to be able to do this job well and to nurture the sport fishing community and help grow it.
Right.
And it's fun. It's really fun.
You know the old joke, if you want to make a small fortune in the sport fishing industry, start with a large fortune, right?
That's right.
Exactly.
It's a great industry. There were a lot of good people in it.
Oh my God! And Sam De La Torre, I do a live show with him every Monday night. He told me Long Beach was fantastic. Del Mar was great. He said he did as well as he's ever done. He said it was fantastic.
Sam is a really good person.
He is,
and he has good business sense. He's made that store really look nice down there.
Yes.
And it's a pleasure to work with him. I like that a lot. He's one of the guys I talk about when I talk about there's good people in this industry.
Yeah, 100%. And there are a lot of good people. And especially when you start looking at the people who attend the shows, I'm talking the public, there are so many good people out there, Bart. I mean, people that just want to get their kids into the outdoor and expose them to fishing and things that are wholesome in life, because there's a lot of distractions nowadays that kids really are not equipped to handle. And being outdoors, focused on a fish, focused on the sea lions that are playing there, the dolphin. That really is so important right now.
It is important. Cell phones are very captivating. There's a lot of good things about them. There's a lot of good things about the internet, but there's a lot of bad.
That's true.
And these kids, once you get them to do that, once you get them to see the porpoise and to catch the fish and to see the stars at night, and you point it, they love it.
Yep.
But if they don't do it, they're going to be stuck in their rooms looking at this stuff the whole time. It's frightening.
100%. Yeah. All right, back to Pomona we go.
Okay.
Every kind of boat. So if I want a fishing boat and I'm looking for a smaller boat or I'm looking for a larger boat, is that going to be there?
Yeah, remember, we're a trailer boat company, so mostly our boats are under 35 feet.
Okay.
So if you want a bigger one, you probably have to look somewhere else.
Yeah.
But in that
35 is a big boat.
Yeah, 35 feet. So we have the family runabouts, that entry level. Matter of fact, Anglers Bereed has Bayliner, which Bayliner has brought more people into boating than any other company because they've been the entry level boat company for my entire lifetime. And they had a little problem for a little while, but they're back again. And he has that. And then he has Tracker. Well, Tracker is a great value for both bass fishing and pontoon boats.
Yeah.
And then he goes up and he has Ranger boats. So, I used to be the Ranger rep, and Forrest and Nina Wood were friends of Judy and I, so I just love Ranger boats.
Yeah.
And then you got Bert's Mega Mall, which is right next to him. And there, he's got all these personal watercraft, Yamaha boats, but all this other personal watercraft stuff. Matter of fact, if you've never been to that store, this guy has 2 blocks, city blocks, under roof.
Really?
Full of quads and motorbike. Bert's Mega Mall.
Uh-huh.
It's giant. Anyway, this is the first time we've ever had him in the shows, and we're pretty excited about that. And then we've got Cali Marine, who has been on all 3 of our shows this year, and they do a really good job with their towboats and the things that they have. And of course, Sun Country. Sun Country at this show is primarily focused on their towboats, but they're also the whaler dealer. And Whaler is legendary for its construction and its durability. And then, of course, you have Jermaine's up there. He's got a display that's going in. He had it at Del Mar. It was unbelievable. All the newspaper came out to film this. He has these huge containers, and he puts a boat on top of these containers, and it's spectacular.
Wow.
He's going to do this again in Pomona.
Oh, he is?
Yeah.
I got to see that.
And mostly, again, that for him, that's just towboats. You got Inland Tommy's Boats, which is towboats as well, from up in Ventura. It used to be Tilly's. And then you've got Inland Marine, which has a combination of fishing boats and towboats. And the same thing with Pacific Freedom. And they're of course, they have everything there, from towboats to fishing boats as well. And then you move into the next hall, and you've got some of the biggest high-performance boats. Now, Johnson Marine has a big display there. We couldn't get him in this one because he's taken so much room. I think he has like 9,000 square feet.
Jeez.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Wow. Yeah, it is.
And he has a whole collection of his fishing boats and his towboats and his everything there, including Chris Craft, which is new to him. And he has 3,200 square feet of just Chris Craft. And you got Shockwave, you got Eliminator, you got Cobra, you got I'm leaving people out. They're going to be mad at me. But all these high performance boats are there. They're not all there, but the vast majority of them are. I think 90% of them are in here. And then you have the race boats. Now, the guy who helps me with this, my partner, is a guy named Jim McComb, and Jim is famous amongst those guys, and even the high performance guys. But he used to make stuff that made fast boats go faster. Oh, wow. So they loved him.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah.
Those guys are always pushing the envelope.
And he had customers all over the world with what he did before he sold that. So he's kind of famous. And that's good. And then we have more booths this year than we had last year, which is a good sign. It means we've done well.
Yeah, right.
And so probably, in a boat show, it's a variety of booths. You know, we actually have a couple of fishing things, but they're not what this is not a fishing show.
Right. It's a boat show.
It's a boat show.
Right. And you can get like a mini seminar, I'm guessing, by walking up to one of those guys that's selling a boat and just chatting with them and get that one-on-one. Hey, is this a good boat? I want to fish in the bays, and I want to, or I want to go to Catalina, or you're going to get some good information.
They will. And here's the advantage of something like this. We have virtually, not all, but the vast majority, like 98% of the boat dealers from Central and Southern California that are allowed to come here, because there are territorial guidelines where you can't go into another guy's territory. But we have this covered. And if you wanted to go see all these people, it would take you a couple of months. I mean, you got to drive. And here,
I know.
Here you can do it in a couple
that's
hours.
A great point. I've never thought of that. You're right.
Yeah, if you want to compare them back and forth, you've got to go all over the place because they're all spread out. But this is that's what the fun part of this is. If you're interested in boating, and it doesn't have to be now. You come, you look. I told you before, I used to be the ranger rep. So I used to work. I helped my dad set up the show, and then I'd go on the other side of the aisle in the booth and sell stuff to people for my dealer. And I see people 1, 2, 3, 4 years in a row before they finally buy.
Yeah.
Yeah, they just
they're soaking it up. They're getting information.
You still love that model? Yeah. No, we changed it. Oh no, show it to me. So yeah, so that's what's going on there.
Well, maybe I should ask Jenny this, but I'm going to ask you. What's the advice you give to a husband trying to talk his wife into, please, sweetheart, this boat's going to be great for our family?
Let's see.
How about you get to pick out the colors, sweetheart?
There you go. Yeah, Jenny says you get to pick out the colors. And we're going to have all kinds of great sashimi and sushi in our future. I see families all the time doing the boating thing together. It's a great way to get together and induce that kind of, again, away from the phones, doing stuff outside.
I'm talking about my partner, Jim McComb. He just bought a new boat, a big one. He's a 100-ton captain as well as a real good fisherman. And he bought this big boat. But his wife wanted to get a beach house. So he named the boat Beach House.
I bet you want to kill him. That's great. I love that. That's fantastic. Have we even mentioned what the dates of this show are? I'm not sure we have.
No, it's March 1st, 2nd, and 3rd.
I am.
No, you're not. You're the best. March 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. 1, 2, 3, and it's just a 3-day show. Quick in, quick out.
Yeah.
Looks like there's going to be a little rain on the weekend, so just dress for it. And We take we take up 3 big buildings there, and there's a short walk between each one, so you won't get too wet even if it's raining.
Yeah. And ways to buy your tickets? Do you do that online or go to the event?
You can do it online on Tixar. When you do it online, they're slightly more expensive, but if you can come buy it right there. At a boat show, it's not like our other shows where you have these long lines you have to wait in line. Boat shows typically are more manageable. So we have many ticket sellers out there. We set up a space for them. So I just come down and buy them there because it'll be cheaper for you.
Yeah. Are there sailboats?
No.
Okay. Are there Ponga type,
skiffs, Ponga
right?
type? Yeah, Ponga types, yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
Those are becoming more and more appealing to a lot of people. They're a lot of fun to run over to Catalina or do whatever it is you want to do.
I love Pongas.
Yeah. You made such a good point that I didn't think about, but if you're doing the intel on buying a boat, this is a must-go-to event because, like you said, you're going to have to drive out to this place, and it's going to take you several months, if not longer, to accomplish that, where here it is. Go from place to place to place, contrast and compare, get your intel, whether you're going to buy a boat this year or not. You may get talked into it at the show, which would be a good thing, but you might just want to be doing the intel, and if you're looking to do that, this is the perfect venue to do just that.
Yeah, and people say, well, you can do that on the internet. Well, you cannot. You can't. They all look good on the internet.
Yeah, right.
You got to see them in person. You got to look, be right. The same with tackle. I could never buy a rod without feeling it first. I would never buy a reel without touching it first.
Yeah.
So while the internet is valuable in terms of this kind of stuff, I don't think it's as valuable as going there and seeing it in person.
I totally agree. Yeah. Have you ever had a boat?
Oh, yeah. We've had boats our whole life.
Really?
We just got rid of our last boat maybe 7, 8 years ago.
Uh-huh. And do you have great memories from
No, I loved it. I mean, growing up as a kid, my dad started me in it, and then, of course, it was my job to take care of it. But that's the fun of it. And we would ski, we would fish, we would just go out and party in it. And then we had a boat out in the Channel Islands, and it wasn't that big a boat. It was like 26, 27 feet. And but we had it all set up for fishing. And I'd tell people, come on, we're going to go fishing on such and such a day. I said, but here's the deal. When I get to the end of the breakwater, if I don't like how it looks, we're coming back in, and we're either playing cards or going to play golf. That's what we do.
Oh, right on. You get a poker game going.
That's right. It was great fun.
Hey, did you bring any cards? I like poker.
She would go in, and she'd get all lunch and everything set up, and then she'd go down and go to sleep in the aft cabin because she gets seasick. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I'll tell you, one of my best memories, I had a Parker down in Redondo Beach.
I love Parkers.
So guess who wants to go fishing? Brian Shaw and BJ, his son. So we go out to Rocky Point. We're having a phenomenal day. We're knocking the heck out of the bonita and the bass. Brian gets a little seasick too, so it was a nice day. Nobody was getting seasick or anything. And then all of a sudden I hear up in the bow, BJ's like, Dad, help me. And so I go up. Well, he made a cast and he caught Patrick right here. And the blood is like pouring down.
Oh my God.
BJ feels terrible. And Brian's, and I go, hey, I'm looking at Pat. I go, are you okay? And he goes, yeah, I'm good. Good. He's a tough kid. And it was up here, so it was no big deal. So he was good. Anyway, so it was just that memory. But BJ reached out to Patrick the other day. They're going to get together and do some fishing. And BJ said, that was one of the worst moments of my life. I can still remember how terrible I felt at that moment. It turned out to be nothing. And, head wounds, how they play. It was just like a memory I'll never, ever forget. And it was a great, Brian, he's a great guy. And he was
a great guy.
So concerned about that, but everything turned out great.
He used to call me, hey, we got practice is over early. Can you meet me out in front of the show? And, yeah, okay, come on back.
I remember that. That was so much fun. I got to get back to the show with the Laker girls and Bichon.
Yeah, that was fun time.
Yeah, next year for sure.
Yeah,
I'm planning on doing that. We continue our efforts in the community, especially trying to get kids fishing, do some stuff with military, and we've been shipping so much stuff across the border here lately that Brian and the Laker girls were instrumental in all those efforts. They helped us a lot.
Really you're the one behind all that, and you pull them all together, and everyone should thank you.
I got brainwashed when I was a Catholic kid. My parents were like always, making sure that they shipped me off to Costa Rica when I was 19 to work in the missions for a year. So it's all good. The show, we're going to be giving out some tickets on Tackle Shop Confessions tonight. So that's going to be great. But I'm telling you, I'm looking forward to this. This sounds like a great show. Is there anything else you want to tell us about it? Are there seminars at this? Probably.
Funny you should say that, because at this very last minute, I'm still trying to put it together. Yes.
Yeah.
We have a space where we could do that, and so it's either going to be videos from the California Department of Boating and Waterways, interspersed with seminars, or just the videos that show you basic public safety.
I was going to ask you that. Is there anybody there that can help with regard to safety on a boat? And
California Department of Boating and Waterways.
They're going to be there?
Yeah.
And are there courses you can take?
Yes.
Okay, good. Online and probably in person, right? That's super important.
It is.
I got into some trouble on the water, and I was ill-equipped to. I wish I would. Right when all that is coming down, it's like, God, I wish I knew more than I knew. But that's it. You got to make sure that everything goes as it's supposed to go, right?
I agree totally. Now, for me, I never got trained, but I've been driving boats since I was 12 years old, and then as the Ranger rep, I drove thousands of times the boats. And in the ocean, we had a boat for 30 years, and but I still don't know as much as the guys who take the classes. I try to pay attention. I try to be safe, but the ocean's a big place, and you have to respect it.
Yeah, definitely.
If you don't, you're going to get in trouble somewhere out there.
Yeah, Mark Paisano, who did you see the Independence here? He told me that sometimes they have people that'll walk into the bait store. They've pulled in on a private boat, and they'll say, "Hey, we want to get some squid." And he said, "Have you looked at the weather? You really don't? Oh, we're good, man. We have way worse weather where we come from. We got this." And he's like, "No, you guys you should rethink this. It's plenty of good days in the future. Be careful out there." So
what a great guy too. There's another great guy.
Yeah,
Mark and Paul.
Yeah, totally, right?
Great guys, yeah.
I love those guys.
Yeah, me too.
And
Mike Morrison too.
Mike's a little
He's got
weird.
red hair.
Looking forward to the boat show. I can't wait. One other thing I wanted to ask you about was, you said it's not a fishing show, but do you find that a lot of fishermen go to the show? I would think yes.
I did because the hall name was on it last year particularly, and I heard one guy go. I says, "Well, it was a good show, but there wasn't much fishing." And I went out with him, and I had my little stroller, and I said, "Hey, I did that on purpose." I said, "I'm saving all the fishing stuff for Long Beach and Delmar." And he goes, "Oh, okay, makes sense." I said, "Yeah, this is just a boat show."
Yeah.
But we do find that, yeah. We had a fishing lodge that insisted on coming last year, and I said, "This is just a boat show." He says, "I want to be there." So okay.
Is he back?
I didn't take him back.
Yeah.
But he sold about 10 trips.
I believe it, because he probably stuck out like a sore
was the only
thumb.
one.
Like,
It was
oh,
the-
shoot. Yeah, man, I want to go talk fishing with this guy.
Bart, I was going to talk about the time you didn't put your kill switch on in Mission Bay.
Oh, did you fall overboard or something?
No. Okay, so I'm kind of an expert at driving fast bass boats.
Yeah.
I have done a lot of it.
You like to pump it?
I do, and I like to get up, and I'm just chine walking a little bit, and we're just got it to the max, and your hair's going back.
Yeah, I know that feeling, Bart.
Yeah, I know. and I have always had my kill switch on, except this one morning we were camped in Mission Bay, had the boat down at the dock. I got up before the kids got up. The sun was just coming up, and I'm catching a fish every cast. I'm getting a sand bass or something. And now it's time to go back. And I had this little bowl that I hung some jigs on. I put the jigs in the seat. I put the bowls right there. And I forgot to put my kill switch on. And I want to see how this, and it's glass, just greasy glass. And I get up, and we're going. And I'm just walking and walking. And this little damn bowl pops up in the air. I got one hand on the throttle. This is the old days. It was wired steering.
Yeah.
One hand on the throttle, one hand on the wheel, the other on the throttle. This thing pops up. I reach for it. The boat does a 360.
Oh, no.
I get thrown out of the cockpit. Fortunately, on this particular boat, because my wife insisted on it, we had handrails. I grabbed them as I was going overboard, reached over with my foot, and kicked the kill switch, and just laid there. I was bleeding all over.
Oh, my God.
I just laid there. So then I kind of limped back into the dock, came up. I had a friend of ours come over who was a nurse, and she was going to kind of clean me all up. And all these kids come running over to talk to my kids and goes, "Hey, is your dad a stunt driver?"
That's awesome. Can he do that again?
No, that was great.
Rudy Morgan, Sean Morgan's son. You just triggered my memory on this. Sean ran boats here for years. He's in Florida and Cabo now running yachts. He was coming into Newport Beach, 8 miles in the wintertime with another guy, no kill switch or anything else, and they both got launched into the water. And it was hypothermic type water, like 55 degrees. They watched the boat. They're dead. They watched the boat go, and the boat unmanned went like this, turned around, and started headed back toward them. By the grace, I don't know how that is explainable. And he looked at the guy and he goes, "We got one chance here, man." And one of the guys was able to get on, believe it or not. I think it was Rudy. And then he rescued the other guy. But oh my God.
That's scary.
Oh my God, that's brutal, isn't
Yeah,
it?
when you're in that situation, you know.
He did a podcast and told that.
Present time.
Oh my God, that is so scary. Yeah. You know, we just had a guy on here, Mikey from SD Fish and Sips. He has a boat called the Solo Boat. Little, like it's a kayak on steroids is how he described it. So it's a smaller boat, and I assume there's some smaller boats. Bart, you can't imagine this guy, man. He's all over the place. He's caught bluefin tuna. He's caught giant yellowtail. He's caught big halibut. In a smaller boat, he's able to accomplish this and provide a really excellent YouTube channel at the same time. But
does he manufacture that, or
he is just doing the fishing.
Yeah.
He sells those boats, solo boats.
Yeah.
And man, I mean, the point is, you don't have to have a mega yacht to go out and catch fish. He's fishes La Jolla a lot for those big yellows that show up there. He had one that was 32 pounds and 30 pounds just the other day in La Jolla. Incredible what you can do with a smaller boat, actually.
We have some of those. They're e-boats. We have 2 companies that call them e-boats. You know?
Yeah.
And they're electric and they're smaller, but we'll see. I don't know if they'll take hold in the marketplace or not. We'll have to just wait and see.
Right. Have you ever done any kayaking yourself?
I have.
You have?
Yes, a long time ago. Before it was, they had the good stuff, and then they got me into a pool at Del Mar as a promotional stunt during the show.
Yeah.
Rod Lane got me up there. They wanted to show that people were concerned that this new kayak with the Mirage dive was stable. So I weighed a lot more at that time.
Yeah, you're looking great.
I weighed like 350.
Yeah.
So I put my shorts on and my T-shirt. I climbed up there and I got in the boat, and that was a big photo op. There was hundreds of people standing around wanting to be in this boat. Yeah, but and then Hobie was a sponsor of ours for many, and to this now they're a sponsor again. They were in Del Mar again. So.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, it's really nice.
Yeah. All right, the boat show coming up March 1st through the 3rd at Pomona Fairplex. Mm-hmm. I'm going to drop by and say hi if that's all right with you.
Yeah, we're open at 12 on Friday. We close at 8:30. The boat dealers want to stay open a little later.
Yeah.
And we open on 10 on Saturday to 8:30 and 10 on Sunday to 5.
I know a bartender who's working that event, actually. Evangelina said she can't wait for the boat show. She actually loves the high-speed boats. And what she said about the boat show, I think she worked it last year, she likes the vibe. The people that show up seem to be really cool people. So it's a good vibe.
I like it too. It's always a smaller crowd, so I have to remind myself, this isn't the fishing show. But if you have the right people, that's all the boat dealers want.
Yeah.
They don't care if 10 people come in, as long as those 10 go to their shop and buy from them.
Yeah.
That's what they want. So
all right.
It's very, very interesting dynamic, and I'm glad we're doing it.
All right, one more time again, March 1st through the 3rd, Pomona Fairplex.
Yep.
And you can go online. What's the website to buy those?
Hullshows.com or Tixar, Tixr. You can get them there, or you can just come down and get them. It's cheaper.
That sounds good. All right, Bart, good to see you, my friend.
Thank you, Phil.
I'll see you at the boat show.